You know what the Yankees did? They spent 5 hours and $50,000 breaking up that concrete to figure exactly where it was on that hole. Well, 5 hours later and $50,000, they got that thing out of the cement. And the man who saw it did not want to permanently chase the new Yankee Stadium. Can you believe in this modern time of technology where we know so much, we'd be worried about a piece of cloth buried? But it put to a halt the construction of a $1.3 billion project, fearing that the very future of the New York Yankees was at stake by a piece of cloth submerged in concrete. A high-powered hex. But how we moved any farther than we have in the Middle Ages when people were so worried about superstitious things. We knocked on wood. I saw some in a restaurant with salt over their shoulder. I can't believe it. And on the way home, if that black cat runs in front of your car, you don't have to back up and go the other way. It's really okay. And then, of course, are the infamous number 13. My dad was born on the 13th. And my son Matthew was born on Friday the 13th. People say, oh, Friday the 13th. There are buildings that don't have a 13th floor. Room 13 doesn't exist. But when I was on the baseball team, I saw they had a 13. I said, hey, number 13. Oh, yeah, we don't want that. But it's here. I said, I'll take it. Really? I said, I like 13s. In fact, I started collecting. I have a collection of number 13s of various Eastern and League teams. I used to trade with clubhouse guys. Anyway, I had that number 13. Well, let me tell you this. How far have we progressed when we're worried about such things as superstition? But your life is not controlled by numbers, horoscopes, what day of the week it is, some old superstition. In fact, the circumstances you're in don't really control your life. Who controls your life? God controls your life. And I really believe that. Your faith should rise above superstition. But all of us, if we're honest, at one time or another, probably had a little superstition. Now, I would have the audacity to wear number 13. People come, look at that guy wearing 13. What's wrong with it? I said, I'm not superstitious. I think 13 is a good number. My dad was born on the 13th. My grandma was born on the 13th. I just missed it by 5 days. So I like number 13. But then I did have a superstition. When they would put a new baseline down, I never stepped on it walking on a field. I actually stepped over it. I believe it was bad luck. I'm going to admit it. People found out about that, and one day a opposing team grabbed me and took my leg and rubbed the lawn. And I said, what are you doing? And they said, ha ha ha, if it happened now, bad luck. Of course, everybody says, that's a bunch of nonsense. I said, yeah, you're right. It's a silly thing. I don't believe it brings bad luck. I went going forward. I couldn't get a hit. I think they'd have laid it in there, I couldn't hit. And I thought, isn't this silly? Next game, no problem. I jumped over that line. I stayed with it. Now, it's a bunch of nonsense. But ball player, if you ever played a team, they're really superstitious. You know, keep wearing the same socks, the same jersey. But think about it. Have you ever done some silly little things? Or blame misfortune on something that really had nothing to do with it? As Christian people, our lives are directed by God, not by the circumstances of this world, not by bad luck. I can wear it, but I thought about wearing that jersey in here, but I thought, no, it's not a Yankee one. But anyway. But you may say, look at that guy wearing 13. Then if something went wrong or the lights went out, you say, see what happened? But then again, by not wearing it, maybe I gave into it. I think it's human from time to time to let circumstances get the best of us. The point, too, is we need more than human knowledge. We need more than scientific knowledge. We need more of God and what God's going to reveal to us. How many of you are experts on God? Anybody? I'm not. The ways of God are mysterious, and I don't claim to know all there is. I don't need to know what's going to happen. I don't need to know all that God's going to do. But I believe this. We all have that spiritual longing. I think within all people, stone carvings or paintings. God is not in images of gold. That has nothing to do with where God is at. God doesn't have to reside in a building. God can be everywhere. But somehow along the way, we seem to let the things of the world become other gods. If I said to you, do you have any other gods before you? And you would say, of course not. I'm not some pagan who worships a shrine or some idol. I'm not an idol worshiper. But maybe we are idol worshipers. Anything we put ahead of God can become an idol. Have you ever had something that got in the way of your spirituality? Have you ever had something come along that got you to do something other than something the Lord wanted? Well, I always said as a pastor, you got to make sure that the Lord is your priority. But then, some years ago, a friend called up and said to me, I have tickets for a playoff in Philadelphia. New York wasn't in it. And I thought, the playoffs. Anything going on Tuesday night? And I went, He said, well, you got something planned? I said, well, it's a church meeting. I'll tell him I have to be somewhere else. So I called him and said, I can't be at the meeting. And I didn't say I got tickets for the ball game. I should have done that. I'm sure they would have understood. But I thought, how does that look? Where's the pastor? He's at Veterans Stadium.